summer is coming, the summer is slowly coming, and the solar panels are coming, and the dome house is coming, and the summer camp is coming, and consciousness is always here. So I wanted to tell you a little about consciousness. And maybe a couple of days ago, I had you would say, sometimes I sit down and do a little conversation with Enrico, and I was talking about something about humans, how great and how powerful humans are. And some people may say, I cannot achieve anything, I am nothing, and so on. And Enrico was telling something about that humans as physical bodies have in a sense no abilities other than just to walk, do, eat, think maybe. But consciousness has no limitations. Consciousness has infinite abilities. And the thing about consciousness is that consciousness is, how you say it, unconditional, in a way that the consciousness doesn't judge whether this is possible or this isn't possible. The consciousness has no judgment at all, just pure wish, pure will, and pure experience, instant experience. And us as humans, we have the greatest and the most greatest ability that we, how you say, not judge but control the consciousness. Through physical experience we control the consciousness. In a way, what it means is that consciousness has no limitations. Consciousness has any limitations to anything. But we as humans has the power to limit it, or to judge. Okay, this is something possible. This is more possible than this, and this is something impossible, and this is something that I can do easily. And we judge and create the experience by our knowledge, by our own minds, and by our judgments. So in a sense, human has the greatest ability to control the consciousness, to control the way that the one experiences life. And there was more information that, for example, some call it subconscious energies. Enrico says inner energies. And inner energies are our emotions and our feelings. And the emotions are, in a way, energy. But what I understood, the emotion is something. It looks like the mandalas that people are drawing. It's like a structural drawing that creates the energy structure, and it creates emotion. But what I would say is, for example, we have emotions like sadness, we have emotions like doubts, we have the inner feelings as aggression, and it all limits us. For example, we are too doubted about ourselves, so we always come across to experience to show us more back of our doubts. What I want to say is that we limit our experience with our mind, but the mind is accepted, or the mind is controlled by our inner energies or subconscious mind, I would say. Subconsciousness. Those subconscious is inner energy. So if one wants to achieve more in his life, if one wants to be more in his life, he's always struggling back to his own subconsciousness or consciousness, that the consciousness is blocking him always. And these energies, these inner energies, these inner subconscious energies, many times come back from our previous lifetimes, many times come back for our childhood, comes up for how are we grown, taught, and by your own self-chosen belief systems. So what I want to say is that we have programmed ourselves to be so limited, and the consciousness is just expressing itself, or we are expressing the consciousness, or how you say also, our consciousness or your life is the consciousness, is expressing itself through the limitations that you have created. So the consciousness has no conditions. It doesn't condition, oh yeah, this, I am overall the one great consciousness. There are things I can do and there are things I cannot do, because those are impossible. But it's different. Consciousness is different. It's like it's just pure childish dream that instantly experiences itself through this dream. It's like a pure childish wish. I want to search for something, and the consciousness explores itself as searching for something. And when the consciousness decides, I want to find or have found that thing, the consciousness experiences itself as already found. For example, searching for the truth, there's no judgment. There's no searching or to be found is just the same for the consciousness. There is no judgments to it, whether this is better than the other. And I don't know how to say it better in words. So the overall your experiences, your consciousness is exploring them without any judgments. Whether you think it's possible, the consciousness, okay, yes, this is possible, and you decide this is not possible, the consciousness, okay, this is not possible, and it plays the role, it just plays the role. But the human mind itself controls the way of the consciousness, self-consciousness. So what I want to say is, or the message from Enrico was that consciousness is in a way, like I said, unconditional. It doesn't put conditions to things, whether this is or this isn't possible. But the greatest power we have is to control the consciousness, and therefore we use this greater power to limit ourselves down to, we cannot achieve anything, we cannot do anything, we cannot have anything, we can only be difficulties, for example, some may say, or sadness, or fears, or doubts, or disbelief, or disloved, or whatever their feelings may be. And the consciousness has no other choice or no other direction than to just, alright, this is a pure experience that one may have, so let it be. And it doesn't have the condition, like conditioning it. So we humans, in a sense, has the infinite power to limit ourselves down to infinitely limited beings. I just wanted to sneeze. So this was the message. I think I explained it detailedly enough so you can get the point. And sometimes when I'm in this channeling state, I have no judgment to this information, whether it's a nice information, it's a bad information or something, but it somehow resonated in words that it sounded for me to be, hey, this is a really nice message, and I was like, okay, I want to share this message. And another thing, there are many people that write comments on YouTube, or questions, and sorry, but I cannot answer them all. And you can sign up on my website, artlineofflinepeace.info, and you can switch to the UK flag for English, and you can sign in with Facebook or Google, or with Google the accounts. So therefore you can ask the questions using those accounts. So yeah, this is an interesting way, and I myself find myself limiting to many possibilities or options. For example, I need to do repairs on my countryside. I somehow focused that 400 euros, it's the same as dollars right now, I think, would be would be a really nice amount, so I concentrated and focused on that. I want to spend for these repairs like $400 or euros or whatever. And then the carpenter came and he said that, okay, these repairs will cost $240. And I was like, wow, this is twice less than I thought. Almost twice less. And then he started to work, and then one thing failed, and another thing failed, and another thing failed. So for example, what I'd say is that things just started to fall apart, and something was broken, then he needed to fix it. Something else other was broken, he needed to fix it. And then he went away, and he calculated the time he spent. Like $380. But it was like amazing. Many things just started to break apart. Then, for example, the kitchen broke down, another thing broke down, and I was like, wow. Okay, but I realized that these things need to be fixed. So I asked him, can he fix this also? And then he asked $380, and I needed to dig one thing, and I forgot to ask him whether he can dig like a couple of meters, like it's like a one-day job. And then I needed to ask my neighbor so he can dig these couple of meters, and he asked $20. So in overall I spent $400 for the same amount. But I was like, damn, I just need to go, can this be fixed as low as possible, for the expense as low as possible? And then I started to laugh, like, yeah, well, I wish for $400 for the repairs that I wish to pay, and then I pay those repairs the amount that I wish for. So what I want to say, this is just a one brief example of do not limit yourself to a particular stuff. Do not limit yourself, because there are no limitations of the consciousness. There are no absolute limitations to the consciousness. The only limitations we put with our mind. So enjoy, have a great time. For example, another thing, one may say that I'm driving now to Riga, it will take me an hour to get there. Some may say it's nearly impossible to get there in, for example, 5 minutes. Well, this is another limitation, a great limitation that one may has, and therefore it's impossible for consciousness to explore itself otherwise. But if you let go of the concepts, if you let go of the ideas, and if you stop counting the time, you may not even feel that you've been driving for at least an hour. And if you don't pay attention to the clock, you may never notice or never come across to, hey, I was only driving for like 15 minutes, but how was that possible? The road is 1 hour. And many times I heard people, even my friends or even myself, that come across to this, you would say, time leaps, time lapse, or whatever you could say, time lags. And many times I heard this, and this is another way of controlling the consciousness. So, and also another thing about limitations, whether we want to achieve a goal in our life. For example, we want to achieve, for example, one may say, I want to get the absolute brief thing. I want to get a yellow car, for example. And he is focused on his direction that he wants to get this yellow car by doing a certain job more and more. For example, okay, I can get this yellow car if I go, for example, to work twice a week, and then after half a year I will get the earnings to get this car, to buy this car. So then I can buy this car, or whatever that may be. So do not limit yourself to that thinking. For example, another may say that another story without limitation will be, I want to get this yellow car, for example, and I already have, the one already has an idea how can he achieve this. But don't put to limitations. Understand that this is the way that you can go too, but sometimes there are just out of nowhere opportunities came, and we sometimes think, oh, this is some kind of silly opportunity, this is worthless, I will not go there. but sometimes this is a new direction that life is putting you to go to change. For example, you may think that in 5 months or 6 months you will earn the money by just going to work, but maybe the unlimited consciousness is just preparing you an offer for the in the next 5 minutes or so. But if you are limited thinking about that this is the job, I need to focus on it, you are blocking yourself from other possibilities. Therefore, you are blocking yourself from the other consciousness possibilities, because again you are limiting yourself, limiting your mind. And therefore, open-minded, to be open-minded, to be more aware, is to be more and more connected to the consciousness. So, hope this information helps you, and good luck.